So, today we're going to dive into something that's really shifting from a nice to have to an absolute necessity: personal branding for educators. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but in an age where your digital footprint is often the first thing people see, this isn't about marketing yourself. It's about taking control of your own professional story. Let's get into what this actually means for you.
All right, I want to start with a really direct question for you. Really think about it for a second. If one of your students or a parent or even a school that might want to hire you someday typed your name into a search bar right now, what would they see? What story would pop up?
Would they just find nothing, like a complete digital void? Or would they find a presence that really shows your passion, your expertise, and the professional values you bring to the classroom every single day? Because in today's world, believe it or not, saying nothing online, well, that says a lot.
Okay, so to really get why this is so important, we have to look at what's actually happening out there in the digital world. There's this fundamental disconnect that honestly holds so many incredible educators back. You basically see two kinds of professionals out there. On one hand, you've got the invisible expert. This person is amazing at their job, deeply skilled, a true master in the classroom. But online, they're a ghost. And on the other hand, you have the visible communicator. They might not be any more of an expert, but because they consistently share what they know, they build connections and, here's the kicker, they build trust.
And this is so, so important. This has nothing to do with how good you are as a teacher, not at all. The real problem is a gap in communication, a gap in visibility, and it makes us ask a really tough question. If you're not the one telling your own professional story online, well, who is?
All right, this next part gets right to the heart of it. And honestly, it's where most people get hung up. We've got to tackle the word branding head on and really redefine what it means in our world, in education.
I hear this all the time, and I totally get it. That word, brand, it feels corporate, it feels a little fake, doesn't it? It sounds like something for online influencers, not for dedicated teachers. It just feels icky, right? Like you're trying to sell something, and that's the opposite of what education is about. Okay, but let's just throw that idea out for a second. Let's redefine it for our world. In education, branding is just the online version of your professional credibility. It's about making sure the image people see of you online is, well, ethical and professional. And most importantly, it's about letting your positive influence reach beyond the four walls of your classroom.
And here's why this is so critical. If we, as the trusted experts in our students' lives, decide to be silent in the digital world where they spend so much time, that empty space, it doesn't stay empty for long. It gets filled up with unchecked, unverified, and frankly unreliable stuff. Our silence literally creates a vacuum where misinformation can thrive.
And look, this isn't just about you as an individual teacher. Not at all. When educators get on board with this, the positive effects just ripple out and make the entire school community stronger. Just think about it for a minute. A family is looking at your school. What if, instead of just a boring old website, they find this living, breathing community of teachers who are excited about what they do? Suddenly, the school isn't just a building anymore. It's a team of passionate, visible professionals. Every single teacher becomes a natural, authentic ambassador. This is how you build a reputation that lasts. It's not about some glossy marketing brochure. It's built from real moments. It's that chemistry teacher posting a few photos of an experiment that got a little messy but was super fun. It's the history teacher making a quick video connecting something from the past to today's headlines. Or it's the English teacher sharing a quick story about a student's aha moment. These tiny acts of sharing build massive amounts of community and trust.
Okay, so I get it. The why makes sense, but the how, that can feel totally overwhelming, like trying to climb a mountain. So let's use this last section to tackle those common fears and turn that mountain into a molehill.
Yeah, this is a huge one. The pressure to create amazing videos can be paralyzing. You scroll online, you see these incredible, polished videos, and you just think, no way. I don't have the gear, I don't have the skills, and I sure don't have the time for that.
But here's the secret. You don't have to. The easiest and best place to start is with the tool you're already an expert with, your words. Just start by writing. Share a quick thought, a resource you found, or a question you're pondering. Your expertise is the real value here, not how slick the video looks. Okay, now for what might be the biggest hurdle of all, putting your thoughts out there for the world to see. It feels vulnerable. What if my colleagues see it? What if a parent doesn't like it? That fear of what people will think, it is absolutely real and it's powerful. But we've got to flip that fear on its head. In a world where our students are online constantly, the real risk isn't getting a negative comment. The real risk is that your valuable expertise stays locked up. The real risk is that other, less reliable voices become the go-to source for your students, simply because they showed up and you didn't.
And, of course, there's the big one, the one I hear from everyone. I'm drowning in grading and lesson plans. Are you kidding me? You want me to add one more thing to my plate? And that is a 100% valid point. Being stretched to your limit is just the reality for teachers.
So the answer has to be practical. I mean, ridiculously small. We're not talking about starting a blog or a huge social media campaign. We're talking 15 minutes, once a week. That's it. Just share one thing, one small win, one cool article. Remember, the goal is to be real, not to be perfect. Authenticity always wins.
So as we're wrapping this up, I want to challenge a really common myth. We hear digital transformation, and we think it's about buying new laptops or getting the latest software. But that's just stuff. That's not where the real transformation happens. The real change, the deep change, starts with a new mindset. It's a personal and professional decision that really just comes down to one simple question. Not, do I have the skills? But am I willing to step out there, into the light, and share what I know in the places where my students need it most? There's a quote that just nails the urgency of this. If we don't position ourselves, the market will position us instead. Basically, if we don't take charge of our own narrative, something else will. Online chatter, public opinion, or just total silence will end up defining us. We can either write our own story or let the world write it for us. The choice is ours. So, where do you go from here? Let's make this super, super simple. No pressure. Here are 2 tiny things you can do this week. First, go find your professional bio, wherever it is, the school website, maybe LinkedIn, and just spend 5 minutes sprucing it up. Second, sometime this week, share one thing. Just one little thing you were proud of from your class. A thought, a picture, one sentence. That's it. That's your first step. You've already started.